97.3%. Remember that number for this video. A couple of months ago, I filmed a series of YouTube short videos where I described my life between sentencing and my surrender to prison. Suffice to say, it was a difficult time because of my criminal, stupid decisions. And in one of those videos, I described 2 days before I went to federal prison, my going away to prison party. And I mentioned that Kourtney Kardashian joined the party, brought a nice bottle of wine, and her boyfriend at the time, Scott, didn't come in, sat outside, pouting the whole time. It was odd. What was also maybe not odd, surprising 2 days after posting the video, my goodness, the data, it was devastating. Despite 97.3% of people on average liking my videos, the like to dislike ratio was staggering. It was like 1,000 likes, 1,700 dislikes. People are like, what are you, celebrity name dropper? That name alone triggers me. I have unsubscribed to your channel because you mentioned that name. Have a nice life. And apparently because of that mention already in this video, you might have already disliked this video. I'm 50 seconds in. Give me a chance. Welcome to the White Collar Advice channel, everyone. My name is Justin Paperny. I'm so thankful that you're here. And if you're looking to learn more about the system and ways to advocate and get through it with dignity and a plan, I did not have dignity or a plan when I got through it. If you're looking to get through it successfully, our team can help you. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Now, in the first video, I mentioned that it didn't go well. I described the first 100 days of my government investigation, and it concluded with me lying to the FBI the 28th of April, 2005. And I was so naive and foolish. After I lied to the FBI, I asked my lawyers, did it go well? They said, you just obstructed a federal investigation. And I'm like, well, what do we do next? They said, we will wait and see. I'm like, cool, let's wait and see. I'm going to move on with my life. I have new things to do. And those new things included getting my real estate license, beginning to sell real estate and thrive at Sotheby's International Real Estate in Calabasas. I joke it was a pretty easy time to sell real estate. Rates were low, and anyone with a pulse can get a loan. I liked it, and every day that I worked to build a new record, I got further away from my bad choices at UBS. I was really thriving. And then like 2 months after the interview, didn't hear from anyone. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. I'm like, man, this is all good. They have forgotten about me. This is truly fantastic that I could both make bad decisions as a stockbroker at UBS, then lie to the FBI, and they're just going to let me go on with my life. I'm never going to do anything wrong again. I have learned my lesson. Not only was I emboldened to think that they had truly, is emboldened the right word? We're going to roll with it because I do one take on my videos. I typically do them live, but I'm not doing it live because I want to insert some evidence and data to prove everything that I'm saying in this video. After that interview, 6, 7 months go by, and if anything, I'm only getting good news, which emboldens me, thinks they've truly forgotten about me. Good news, including investors in my client's hedge fund who lost money were suing UBS, and UBS is giving them their money back. I'm like, this is absolutely like fantastic. They're getting their money back and they're not asking me to contribute. That's fantastic. Then this $1 million bonus they gave me when I was 26 or 27 years old, didn't fully appreciate the bonus, hadn't fully earned the bonus, didn't appreciate how much money that was and the responsibility that came with it. I later learned they were going to forgive the balance of the bonus. They were no longer clawing it back. I'm like, this is fantastic, man. This is incredible. Now, during this time, I'm not doing anything to try to make amends or cover up for lying to the FBI. I'm not doing anything at all to identify with people that became victims of my client's hedge fund. That's a big part of what's important to the government. Now, I'm critical of Department of Justice attorneys. They want to advance their agenda, look good on television. Eventually, they're going to run for office. Many of them are good, honest people. And in this case, the U.S. Attorney David Willingham, who's now a defense attorney with whom I work, was a very fair and honest prosecutor. He gave me a chance to be honest with them. And even after I lied, I could have created some message that said, I'm sorry, I was scared, I was vulnerable. I didn't introspect or fully understand how I ended up getting fired or leading to that interview. I want a second chance at veracity, but if you don't give it to me, Mr. Willingham, I understand. I want you to know everything that I did. I want to accept full responsibility for my conduct, which is all I had to say to the FBI when they interviewed me. And had I done that, they never would have recommended down the road a prosecution. And I know that because I've done work with the FBI, including speaking at the Academy in Quantico, Virginia, when Paul Bertrand, the agent who arrested me, introduced me and said, had he told us the truth, He would not have gone to prison. Think about that as you're traversing a government investigation. How well are you working with your lawyer? Do they know everything? Do they know the nuances? How well are you working with the government? Instead, I decided to go into la la land, sell real estate, play golf, got the handicap down from a 12 to a 6. That was cool, without fully considering that my stupid, foolish, dumb decisions were putting me on a path to disaster. It was all my fault. It was all my fault. Let's continue. 7 or 8 months later, continuing to get good news. And then after about 10 or 11 months, where I truly think it's in the rearview mirror, I receive a call from my lawyer. Now, sometimes when going through a government investigation, it's kind of easy to think like they have forgotten about you. It's like, okay, I haven't gotten a bill from the lawyers in 4 months. That's fantastic. The lawyer never calls me. Clearly, the government has forgotten about me. So when I saw my lawyer call, I was like, this is strange. I didn't pick up the phone. I was driving around Calabasas and Woodland Hills with my friend Kourtney Kardashian, who is looking to buy some real estate. This is before her show. This is before the Dash store was opened. And I can assure you, her budget was not Hidden Hills or the Oaks in Calabasas at $10 or $15 million. Suffice to say, the budget was lower. So we're just rolling around looking at property. I'd known her for a while, introduced to a friend of mine, Louie. Her brother Rob was on a Sunday baseball team that I played on, Canine Dog still representing. Just looking around at property. So I didn't pick up when my lawyer called, and then he called again. And finally I picked up the phone and he said, "Are you sitting down?" I said, "Yes, I'm driving." He said, "Pull over. I need to speak with you for a few minutes." I'm like, okay, pull over on the side of the road. "Kourtney, I just need a few minutes here to take the call." She's like, "Fine." I get out from the car. I'm standing. He says, "Sit down." I'm like, "I'm standing." I'm like, "What's up, man? I haven't heard from you in many, many months. I've moved on with my life. What do you need? I'm showing property here with my friend." And he's like, "I have some disturbing news." I'm like, okay. "There's going to be a press release soon stating that your ex-client Keith, the hedge fund manager, is going to plead guilty to a count of conspiracy to commit fraud. I've spoken with AUSA David Willingham. He's not a huge fan of yours because you, as you may recall, you lied to his agent, Paul Bertrand, last year. David Willingham has told me that your client Keith has been cooperating in this federal investigation for the last year. So while you've been lying to the government and me and think that you have moved on with your life, he has been cooperating. They believe him. And even though he is the orchestrator of this and you were involved on the periphery, you are looking at a measurably longer federal prison sentence than him." I'm like, hold on a second. I'm showing property to my friend right now. And I've moved on. I haven't heard from these people for months. And now you're telling me that my client, who is more culpable, who ran this fraud before me, probably still doing it. I couldn't speak, drooling, shaking. He's going to get a shorter prison sentence than me? How does that, I don't know. What are you even, why are you calling? I've moved on. What are my options again? He said, okay, the government favors people who cooperate and tell the truth. You didn't cooperate or tell the truth. So here are your options. You can go to trial. You can give me $1 million if you want to go to trial. You'll lose in, 15 seconds. Or you can plead guilty and you'll get 5 years in prison. And I'm like, well, I don't love either option. Is there, I've moved on with my life. I'm like, "Kourtney, hold on. Well, we're going to go look at that property in Woodland Hills in a few minutes. I'm waiting to hear from the agent. Apparently it's there's no lockbox. It's appointment only. Hold on a sec." What are the options again? What are the options again? Here are the options. You're going to either plead guilty and you're going to get 5 years in prison, or you can go to trial. You're going to lose. Send me $1 million. So I said, I kind of need to take this in. He said, yeah, that's a really good idea, but we basically need to know by tomorrow if you're going to agree to plead guilty to a count of conspiracy to commit securities, mail, and wire fraud and agree to serve up to 60 months in federal prison under the terms of your plea. I'm like, by tomorrow? I haven't heard from you in 10 months. I've moved on with my life. I have to make this life-changing decision tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? Get on with my life? Yeah, you should work because there are going to be more legal bills coming. And I think it's important that you demonstrate to your judge that you're working to build a new record. I'm like, my judge, what does that even mean? It means you're going to plead guilty and you're going to go to prison for 60 months. I'll speak with you tomorrow. And not long after that, the release did come out. the DOJ issued this press release. And at the end of that press release, it stated that I was the unnamed co-conspirator. It got picked up in the LA Times, and then it went quasi-viral, as they say. The hardest part of that first day of hearing that is even functioning after you hear news that my stupidity and foolishness and arrogance and entitlement, thinking that I'm different. If anything, I'm worse. I grew up in Encino, south of the boulevard, with privilege and money, prep schools, USC baseball player. If anyone should be held to a higher standard, it's me. Yet I chose to lie and laugh at the government, thinking that I would get treated differently, and it began to hit me. It began to hit me. It was time to pay the price for my bad actions, and the waiting and wondering that for that phone call from my lawyer for the next day, waiting for that release to come out. And then after I got off the phone with my lawyer, I'm like, am I supposed to go work now? Like, so I'm going to get in the car with my friend and I'm going to go show her real estate, just as if I'm working and it's all good, when I just heard the government wants to send me to prison for 60 months. And you know what? That's exactly what I did. Got in the car, said, I appreciate your patience. Let's go look at a few more properties here, and wanted to get it over with as quickly as I could. Once I did, dropped her off in a little shopping center in Calabasas, drove home and sat thinking, I did it. I did it. I'm going to prison. I want all of you to make better decisions than me. The government has endless resources to investigate us, our tax dollar. And if you think for a moment, because you haven't heard from them in 3, 6, 9, 12 months, they have forgotten about you, you're as dumb as me. They're building a record. They're speaking with your co-defendants. They are looking for people to cooperate, or as the prison parlance or vernacular goes, to catch more cases to advance their career and bring justice to victims. I knew better. I didn't act. And I paid a heavy price. I want all of you to do better. I want you to work well with your lawyer. I want you to tell the truth to the government. I want you to demonstrate through your own efforts why you're a candidate for leniency, not through happy talk, but by building a record. And if you created victims as I did, put them first. Don't include them as a throwaway. In the next video, 3 of 10, I will walk you through the process of signing the plea agreement, and then how damn long it took to actually get in front of Judge Wilson. And then, of course, all the fallout that follows: criminal, short-sighted, greedy, dumb decisions. It was my fault. I want all of you to do better. Thank you for watching this video.